Good evening, folks. This is Lauren up in Corey, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to invite you tonight to listen to a concert in the Constance Forest on the Constance stage. I can't figure out how to do this and record myself. Anyway, the fire is burning bright, which I hope you can see. And I will just be a disembodied voice, I guess, doing a couple of Winter Solstice songs in honor of the season and in memory of my mother Constance, who encouraged me to use my imagination when there was no one else around to play with. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I am going to imagine that there are a gazillion people out there, and I know they are, they're just not necessarily visible. They've all gone to rest. That doesn't mean they're not here. And it doesn't mean that we can't remember them. So the first song I'm going to do is a song called The Giant, or simply Giant, by the great Stan Rogers. Kind of fits the season and the mood. Holding on the wire and rain on the road, the promise of winter brings recourse to cold. It's fire in the blood and a fog on Rador. The giant will rise with the moon. It's the same ancient fever in the Isles of the Blessed. Fathers brought with them when they went west. The blood of the Druids that never will rest. The giant will rise with the moon. So crash your glass down, move with the tide. Young friends and old lovers are burning inside. Crash your glass down, finger will rise with the moon. And in clement weather the people are fey. 3,000-year stories as the night slips away. Remembering Fingal is not far away. The giant will rise with the moon. Over the winds in the north there'll be new moon tonight. We have no circle to dance in its light. Light a torch, build a fire, and bring the fire bright. The giant will rise with the moon. So crash your glass down, move with the tide. Friends and old lovers are burning inside. Crash your glass down, Fingal will rise with the moon. Falling on the harbor and rain on the road, wet promise of winter brings recourse to cold. It's fire in the blood and a fog on Rador. The giant will rise with the moon. That song has kind of a haunting feeling to it. Always have loved it. Not very good at it on the auto harp, but It's fun to sing. And while I'm out here, I got my mug of Irish coffee. Keep me warm. And I don't know what's going on here, if we're recording or not. I guess we're still here. Anyway, let's see if this is working. Oh, the fire's dying down. My light that turns on and off is a motion detected light. This isn't exactly Broadway, folks. We're out here in Corry, Pennsylvania, a little dinky town in the middle of Erie County, up the northwest part of the state, a part of the state that didn't even used to be part of Pennsylvania. They had to buy their way up to get port on Lake Erie. I'm right up near the line where it used to be Pennsylvania and used to be Ohio. I don't know, the whole border thing is kind of crazy, if you ask me. That's because, let's see if this will work. Okay. Maybe. Here we are worshiping at Christmas time a God who came into the world 2,000 years ago. God bless him. Came with a message of love, came with a message of believing in one and one another. Not many people have followed that. But I want to think back 900,000 years ago. So much time, so many eons. There were human ancestors trying to move on the move, migrate out of Africa, and they were hit by some kind of a calamity that almost made the human race go extinct. It wasn't Homo sapien yet, but it was forerunners. It was called a genetic barrier. And what happened was 95% of the human beings alive in the world at that time died out. And so there was just a few 100,000. Scientists believe there were 2,000 breeding pairs at 900,000 years ago when this disaster struck. An ice age, a volcano, a meteor, 2,000 breeding pairs. And it took 100,000 years, 900,000 to 800,000 years ago, for the population to regain its footing. And then those people migrated out of Africa. Some went east, became the Denisovans. Some went west into Europe, became the Neanderthal. And eventually out of Africa came the Homo sapien, the modern humans. That's what we are. And they came and they went across out of Africa through Asia to Southeast Asia. And they made it all the way to Australia. Imagine that, 50,000 years ago. And then they turned around and came back and went into Europe and coexisted with the Neanderthal for a long period of time. Eventually the Neanderthal died out. The sapiens were the ones who were left. And since that time, 8 billion of us, 8 billion Homo sapiens now inhabit the earth. But if it hadn't been for that small band of humans 900,000 years ago who kept it alive, who kept the race alive for 100,000 years, none of us would be here. So when you're out on a night like this, it's kind of like, okay, Jesus, I admire you. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, but by God, there's some ancestors back there that need to be remembered.